Hello Leafs Nation, I'm Rick Scarborough and you're watching Blue and White Weekly, where we bring you weekly updates on the Leafs and the hockey world at large. It's September, and that means training camp and preseason action is right around the corner. So let's take a look back at the hottest headlines of the summer and the most important things to know heading into camp. In what has caused quite the stir and speculation in Leafs Nation this week, the letter O has disappeared from team branding on both social media and the screens outside Scotiabank Arena. This has led us to believe only one thing: the O's have been placed on LTIR to circumvent the cap. In possibly the biggest storyline of the summer, John Tavares has stepped aside and handed off the C. Austin Matthews is now the 26th captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a change many have called a long time coming. It has also given Matthews yet another nickname, Captain Underpants. The Leafs are headed up by a new bench boss this year, Craig Berube. Berube has spent the last 6 seasons coaching the St. Louis Blues, winning a Stanley Cup with them in 2016. Berube played 1 season for the Leafs during his career, amassing 109 penalty minutes through 40 games with the squad. Berube is replacing Sheldon Keefe, who is joining the New Jersey Devils as their new head coach. Keefe's time with the Leafs will always be remembered for his first game, in which Pierre Engvall scored his first career NHL goal. Oh, and Keefe is the winningest coach in Leafs history. Moving to on-ice changes, the Leafs have signed Max Pacioretty to a professional tryout contract. The 35-year-old winger's career has spanned 902 games spent between the Habs, Golden Knights, Hurricanes, and Capitals. Traditionally, Pacioretty has worn the number 67 throughout his career. That's right, folks, 67. This is either a horrifying omen or the final piece of the prophecy to bring Lord Stanley home. In further signings, the Leafs have inked a deal with defenseman Jani Hakanpää, who joins the team on a 1-year, $1.47 million deal. He stands at a staggering 6'7", 222 pounds. I don't even have a joke for that. That's how terrifying I find his size. And in another signing, the Leafs at last came to terms with pending restricted free agent Nick Robertson, extending the 23-year-old to a 1-year, $875,000 contract. Coincidentally, $875,000 is also the amount of money I spent on Harveys last year. And finally, with training camp about to begin, many young players are looking to get their first shot at an NHL lineup. Some of the Leafs' brightest up-and-comers had a chance to show off their skills this weekend in a prospect showcase against the Montreal Canadiens. For more, we go to our rinkside reporter, Riley Roberts. Thanks, Rick. Now, before we get into the weekend, I want to highlight that 2024 first-round pick Ben Danford missed the showcase after taking a big hit in practice last week. His status is unknown heading into training camp. To no one's surprise, top prospects Easton Cowan and Fraser Minton led the way this weekend. Both young men have stated they have set lofty goals for themselves and want to make the Leafs roster out of camp. Now, it should be noted that Minton left Game 2 after taking an awkward hit into the boards and skated off the ice favoring his left foot. More updates on his condition are sure to come in the next few days. Centerman Roni Hirvonen had 2 goals in Game 2 on Sunday. The 22-year-old had 13 points last season with the Marlies. Expect him to make a name for himself at camp. Further names to watch for at Leafs camp are Topi Niemela, Cade Weber, and Dennis Hildeby, all of whom had strong weekends and will likely make appearances at training camp in the coming days. Back to you in the studio, Rick. Thank you, Riley. And that will do it for this edition of Blue and White Weekly. We'll see you next week, Leafs Nation. Until then, keep your stick on the ice.